Right, I'm Barnaby Flynn and I'm here doing a mobile stall on wheels, which I thought of yesterday morning, which I'm quite happy about because it worked quite well there. It did fall apart a few times. But I'm doing a stall for simpol, a simultaneous policy, which is citizens around the world cooperating with each other to drive governments to implement policies simultaneously, so no one loses out by moving first, policies which most people consider are necessary. Policies such as making all trade fair, banning all weapons of mass destruction, stopping climate change, which is why we're here today to campaign for climate change and climate camp. We've been outside front of the offices of British Airways Authority, whatever they're called, and getting them to recognise that we need tough action on climate change. We can have what is necessary, which is global cooperation to solve global problems. I'll play some harmonica now if you like.
I would have to cut. Such midwifery is but one function of the leader here, floating in a sack of fluid dark, a clear century of space away from Earth. One man stirs from the trauma of his birth, a tentative to change, assuring him this is reality, however grim our journey's end.
Say a bit on camera?
Alright, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. You have to shout though, because the mic's not be that good.
Okay, well, so I'll say whatever you want me to say.
No, definitely not. Say what you want to say. It's pretty crazy down here.
It's good, it's a party atmosphere, and we're going to be occupying this space until midday tomorrow. So we're sending the BAA clear message that they want to go on expanding. We are going to shut them down.
Good stuff.
It's going to be no third runway because we are here to stop it and to put a hole in the government's expansion plans for aviation. Because if they expand aviation, then we can't stop climate change.
Right.
Being really serious.
You don't fancy moving around, so I can film all the police here, do you?
Yeah.
Or I can just walk around the background, just go around and go full in a circle. It's just crazy. I've never seen so many police.
There's a lot.
We're here in the car park of BAA. We've marched here from the climate camp. We had a very peaceful march, but I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now. But the main thing is we've had a really good afternoon, and we've drawn attention to climate change, which is the biggest threat to humanity at the moment. And we've kept our spirits up. So I hope we have a peaceful time for the rest of this afternoon, and I hope that people remember that when they're making decisions about their holiday, their business or other parts of their life, that they put the climate first.
The reason this is all here is that we're getting to a point where larger numbers of people are beginning to realise that we are at a point where the climate is tipping drastically, and that even though everyone says the economy of this country depends on ever increasing growth and more of everything, more commerce, more people flying around for both business and tourism, flying supposed to be increasing steadily, the need for new runways to be built at all the major airports. A lot of us are saying we have already reached the point where we have to bring this down again. We already have too much. And the percentage of pollution that aircraft are putting out is directly injected into the upper atmosphere, where it can have a particular effect on such things as the ozone hole. So we feel that the idea that this airport should be expanded with one more major runway, the effects on allowing increased air transportation through Britain and through Europe, and between Europe and America, with Heathrow being a major hub for the whole of Europe, is a thoroughly bad idea, and it doesn't reflect the actual changes that are beginning to happen. Apart from other things, the beginning of the end of big oil, the progressive reduction in the amount of fuel available for aircraft, and the whole idea that we should build a third runway at this airport, increasing the capacity hugely at a time when we're just about to run out of fuel for the airplanes. The guys who build the airport, they'll get checks for the work, they'll cash the checks, and a year or two after that there'll be a downturn in the amount of air transportation, and we'll suddenly realise that we don't need this huge increase in air capacity in the country, and it'll be too late. It'll already be built, huge amounts of money spent, and we'll no longer be able to afford to run all the planes through here. So we're saying stop now before we waste a huge amount of money on building an increase to the airport, and use the money in other ways. Try and figure out an alternative economy that doesn't depend on this huge amount of transportation, and using within my lifetime, and I'm an old guy now, within my lifetime nearly all the oil in the world will have been used. There'll be almost nothing left for future generations, even the immediate generations, our children, our grandchildren, let alone the 7 generations into the future that wise men among the Native Americans said was the best way for humans to actually organise their affairs. Try and plan for 7 generations in the future. If you can see clearly that what you're doing will be good for all those future generations, then you can have a good idea that what you're doing is right. And at the moment, everything we're doing is coming to an end. Unsustainable means about to come to an end. And so we actually have to figure, what are we going to do next that will actually create a future that works, rather than building an airport as part of a future that everyone is now certain cannot work. This whole kind of airport, this whole society we're here, is history. It's actually history. This whole economic system is dying. It just hasn't fallen down yet. And I'm afraid that we're going to see all of this happening in my lifetime. Okay.
Global cooperation. Every nation cooperating with every nation. Every citizen cooperating with every citizen. That way we can end destructive competition.
Oh, Slough's a nice place, really, isn't it? All right. This one's called Too Much Pressure.